Good morning, everybody. It is 5:51. I woke up at I think about 5:20. And I was thinking, gosh, like what do I want to talk about today on YouTube? What do I want to explore? I'm really enjoying these so far. And I realized morning ritual. And I think a lot of people struggle with mornings. I happen to be a morning person biologically, culturally. Like, I just got lucky, I guess, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I love my mornings. I love getting up early. I always have since I was a little kid. I can remember going camping with my family, and I would go to bed at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and everyone else would stay up, hang out, everything. And then I would wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning. We'd be out in the Rocky Mountains, and I would just disappear into the forest. I would find little streams and springs. I would make my own forts. I would see all kinds of wild animals. It is a wonder I didn't get mauled by some vicious predator, but here we are. I'm okay, still alive. And I think mornings, especially in our hustle and bustle kind of society, are really underrated. I think some people's jobs have forced them to become morning people when they aren't morning people, which is really unfortunate. I think teenagers have to get up way too early to go to school. And there's even scientific studies that say that when you push the start time back from school, teenagers start performing better on tests. So clearly there is some science to be looked at there. But basically what I'm talking about is yesterday I talked about anxiety and social anxiety and many of the things that I do to cope and to process and to deal with my anxiety, my worries, my thoughts, my dreams, my hopes, everything. But I think a big part of it that I didn't talk about is my morning ritual and how important it is to set yourself up for the day properly. And what I mean by that is if the first thing you do in the morning is you check your phone and you're looking at your work emails, maybe texts from people, that guy or that girl that you really like, you're hoping that they text you back. You're hoping that they, saw your Instagram story or whatever. That is a really bad way to start your morning. I hate to break it to you, but um, I think the first thing that you should be reaching for in the morning is a glass of water. And then after that, you need to start your day out slowly and, you know, have some affirmations, have some positive things that come from within you and help you start your day. So, um, I think first I'll explain what I do most of the time anyway. Obviously, this isn't every day. I'm not perfect. I'm very far from perfect. But I'll explain what I do and then I'll tell you about a few things that I've discovered recently that are helpful. I'll tell you about some things that I've always done that I find helpful. And who knows if this helps you wake up, excuse me, if this helps you wake up, if this helps you feel better about yourself or be able to go through the day with positive energy and positive affirmations and manifestation, amazing. And if it doesn't, and I've just wasted 10 minutes of your day, I'm sorry. There are worse ways to spend 10 minutes, so fingers crossed. But anyway, I think in order to talk about morning rituals and how I wake up, I have to first talk a little bit about how I go to bed, and I'll probably do a different video on this subject later. But as I said before, I go to bed really early, earlier than most people. My dad has always said nothing good happens after midnight, and while I have proven that to be not 100% accurate, I do agree that a lot of stuff that happens after midnight is just no good for your health. So I typically start getting ready for bed at 7 o'clock in the evening. And now you might be like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like, no, I have so much stuff to do. That's like, just hang on. So around 7 o'clock, I start just in my brain to say, okay, it's time to start shutting down. It's time to start closing off things. Um, and so certain apps on my phone, I stop checking. So typically like TikTok and all of the short form media, I stop consuming that stuff about 7 o'clock. You know, it's time to relax. It's time to push back. Um, I stop texting people and I stop replying to people probably around 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Um, Most of my friends, most of the people that I interact with understand that, after 8:30, like I'm kind of useless. Like I'm not gonna be there. I'm sorry, but unless you call me or something, like it's not my thing. So yeah, I start limiting my exposure to certain media in the evening like that. I remove certain factors from my experience. I then might go to a YouTube video or a podcast or something that has some positive energy, some good vibes. Um, Rarely I'll watch a movie. Sometimes I'll watch a movie, but honestly, guys, a lot of movies now are quite violent or extreme, and they're designed to invoke a lot of emotion out of you. And I don't think that that's really healthy going to bed. I think you want to set your intention. I will typically do some meditation. I drink water. I'm done eating. I do intermittent fasting, so um, I'm done eating by like 4 o'clock in the evening, basically. I have like crazy dreams when I eat, like close to bed. But yeah, I basically have this intention in my head, and I'm like, okay, it's time to start slowing down, relaxing. I remove bright light at that time, around 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. Um, yeah, brush my teeth, maybe have a shower, focus on my breathing, things like that, that just really center myself and relax myself. So then I go to bed, and sometimes I take melatonin, sometimes I don't. I think it's more of a placebo than anything, but it sure makes me feel good. Um, so yeah, and then I typically sleep. Sometimes I get up in the middle of the night. I just try to go back to bed. Um, I am someone who has struggled with insomnia. So I will typically, my insomnia happens when I go to bed and then I will wake up and my mind will start racing and it'll start thinking of all these things and situations and future things and stupid things I said when I was in third grade. And I sort of spiral and then I'm up for hours. That's typically how my insomnia works, or it used to work. I don't really have a problem with it now, currently, knock on wood. Um, but yeah, so I will sleep. I typically sleep between 7 to 9 hours a night, which some people might think, wow, that's a lot, and some people might think, wow, that doesn't seem like a lot, but it works for me. When I have 6.5 hours of sleep, I just feel tired and gross, but typically like 8 hours is solid. Then waking up and the rituals. Okay, so um, I'm someone who doesn't wake up and I'm not immediately kind of groggy and gross. I kind of wake up and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm conscious again. Consciousness like sneaks up on me and then it's all at once. So as soon as I wake up, I sort of just allow myself to breathe and to allow myself that little bit of grogginess does disappear. And once it has, I feel like stretching and just moving along. And I'm not even like standing up at this point. I'm just sort of stretching and moving. I typically then wake up. I avoid my phone for 5 or 10 minutes after I wake up. I don't check the news. I don't check my texts, none of this stuff. I might, after sort of my morning stretch and opening my blinds to look out the window to see if it's a rainy day or if it's a sunny day, after I do all of that, I will typically grab my phone and I will turn on a podcast or I will put some music on. Um, I will really set the intention for the day, and um, a little bit of mindfulness and meditation where I just sort of quietly close my eyes and I tell myself that today will be a good day, life will go on. Um, if the day doesn't go the way I want it to be, I will just go to bed and wake up the next day, and the next day will be better. There are like certain things that you can do that come from within, and I just finished reading the Tao Te Ching, which is a book about sort of how to center yourself, how to um, allow the energy you need for the day to come from within. And basically, one of the premises is, or the hypotheses, or whatever you want to call it, one of the ideas behind this ancient Chinese, um, I wouldn't call it a religion, but I would call it um, wisdom. One of the thoughts behind it is that if you allow yourself to get your joy and your fulfillment and your happiness from other things, from external things, from material objects, from other people, from situations, you will never truly be happy. You will never truly be at peace. But if you allow yourself to be happy and content because of who you are and from within you, then you will be infinitely happy and you will always be able to control and enjoy um, your life. It's sort of like, it goes back to an age-old quote about um, you'll never be able to control other situations, but you can control how you react to those situations. And I'm like a firm believer of that kind of stuff. So I think when you look at your phone early in the morning, you are allowing external things to dictate how your day will be. So if you open your phone and you receive some really awful text or a comment on a picture you posted, or, if you have basically like reached out for some kind of gratification or happiness and you don't get it, then you're going to have a bad day. And that is no way to live your life. So I would really advise, if you can, leave your phone in another room. Um, if, you have a situation where you work or you have people that you care about that sometimes reach out to you, so you can't leave your phone in another room, um, try and limit your time on certain things, certain aspects of your digital life that make you feel anxious, that make you feel difficult. Um, I think it's really important. Like, just even ask yourself when you wake up in the morning, like, is looking at my phone going to make me happy? Or is it just going to fulfill this addiction that I have? I think I can openly admit that, like, I'm clearly addicted to my phone. I do a whole lot on my phone. I try and not spend a lot of time on it. I try and be present and with people when I'm with them, but I'm certainly addicted. If I didn't have my phone, I would be anxious and there would be all kinds of problems. But I think it's important to understand that it's not always a good thing, and it's not. These phones are amazing technology for communicating, for expressing ideas. I mean, we're doing this right now on a phone. So, um, but understanding that these devices should not dictate our lives, they should not control how we feel about ourselves and each other. I think that's really, really important. So yeah, and then after that, I basically get changed. I will be listening to a podcast or listening to music that I enjoy. I'll be getting ready, drinking water, taking my vitamins, and then I go to the gym. And that is something that is absolutely crucial to my ritual, my morning ritual, my morning routine. As I said in the previous video, my anxiety is really handled by working out and being physical. I exercise my demons. I I am focused. I'm present. I'm in the moment, and I really wouldn't change that for anything. So yeah, that's sort of like the main part of my morning ritual. If you've made it this far, congratulations. This is like 15 minutes in. Um, like as someone who creates short-term content on TikTok all the time, I'm always looking to try and hook people, and I'm trying to interest them right away and very quickly, and then they're gone. Um, so making these kind of videos is really fun, and the idea that somebody out there might be following my thoughts on this idea and these concepts is very humbling. So if you're here and you're still watching, I thank you so much. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope your morning goes amazing and that you have a fantastic routine and a fantastic life and a way of life. Um, I'm really enjoying these. I thought, oh, I'll do one a week or something, but currently I'm just gonna make them once a day, and if they work out, amazing. If I stumble and fall, that's life. But thank you again for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day. I love you guys so much. Make good choices. Try and be present. Don't worry about the future. You can't control it. You can only, guide it in very broad strokes. So yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you next time.